Future fighters, we are absolutely starved for new content and new information about the March update. I know that everyone's wondering what the hell is going on, and this is literally the best I can give you with the pre-update events being announced, which means we are about a week away from the actual update. Yay! We should be seeing sneak peeks very soon. Yay! They dropped us with this little teaser here. Please look forward to the arrival of superheroes with special looks and powerful new supervillains. That's all. That's all we get to work off of. So that's what we're going to be working off of for the next 9 minutes in this video. I'm going to be putting my detective skills to use, and we're going to be figuring it out. Well, I don't really know what to say about the superhero part. The arrival of superheroes with special looks. I have no idea what that means. I mean, my first guess would be that it's a character that has never gotten a uniform before, so it's like a special look for them. So, you know, you're looking at characters like Singularity, Phyla-Vell. I mean, the male characters as well. The Nova, Richard, Dick Ryder, Hellstorm, you know, Songbird, Wiccan, whatever. Like, that kind of thing. Alternatively, if it's not superheroes with special looks, like if it's not their first uniform, then I guess a special look could be a seasonal uniform. That would be my only other guess, because seasonal uniforms are special in the sense that they only come around once during every season, right? And we also know that we have the April Fool's seasonal uniforms in tow. So if you go to the token event, you can see the pre-release token event. So whatever that red thing is, that might refer to the superheroes with special looks, or that might refer to the villains. But we know by this point that the color doesn't mean anything, so you really can't read anything into this. And then here we have the Clever Mischief token, which is for April Fool. So the special looks could be for the seasonal uniforms. And actually, if I were to speculate on this, because now as I'm saying it, it makes a little bit more sense. Last year's seasonal uniforms, of course, were, for April Fool specifically, were Thanos and Squirrel Girl, right? And Thanos and Squirrel Girl as seasonals were not heroes, they were villains. Now Thanos is always a villain, no surprise there, but Squirrel Girl was actually turned into a villain. So maybe this year they're switching it up. They're like, okay, we did super villains last year for April Fools, now we're gonna do heroes. I don't know. That's just one speculation I have. I don't know what else special looks could mean. We don't really get special looks a lot in terms of using that exact language in a sneak peek. I know that doesn't really count for much, but yeah, I have no idea. And then what's actually way more interesting than superheroes with special looks is the idea of powerful new supervillains. Now, I don't want to read, well, I'm going to read too much into this, because powerful new supervillains to me sounds like one of two things. More likely than not, it means we're getting actual new characters, which is quite nice. This also could mean if we're getting a new character that's a supervillain. Most recently, we've gotten new characters as villains through the through the World Boss Legend. And that would mean that a new native tier 3 villain is on the horizon, right? World Boss improvements and new World Boss. So this is a big one. So we're preparing improvements and a new World Boss Legend for our agents to enjoy the game mode even more. First of all, we will make it easier to acquire the type you want for Titan's records for World Boss Legend difficulty. And this way we will reduce the stress of acquiring Titan's records for agents who mainly clear World Boss Legend. Okay, so we have not seen this before. Right, this has not already happened. This is still waiting. This is still in the pipeline. I was thinking that the World Boss improvements was to the drop rate, which you could then argue, oh, they've already done that, Alex, because they introduced this new progression thing. So, oh, this new progression thing in World Boss with the drop rate for Carbonadium and Life Seed. Oh, that's what they were talking about in the dev note. But no. That's not what they said. They specifically said making it easier to get Titan records, to get the books. So this actually is yet to pass, right? It's still coming, which is really nice. That could be coming in this new update. We're also aware that many agents are playing only certain types of world bosses, and will prepare improvements so agents can choose various bosses based on their needs. Okay, I think we also haven't seen this either. We haven't seen sort of a reshuffling, a rebalancing of world boss. maybe they're gonna let all of the world bosses drop the same amount of carbonadium. Like that would be really cool, because I never play. I almost never play Null, Mephisto, and Ultron anymore. I play Ultron a little bit because I still have some challenges to do with Gamora, but you can see that my Conqueror level has been very stagnant in these bosses. You can go back in videos for months now, whereas with other world bosses, even though I can't go as high, right? I can't do 99 of Jean or whatever. I've been chipping away. Look, Jean has already almost caught up to Null, right? And she came out, what, 2 years later? So just to put it into perspective how much I've grinded Jean compared to Null, because she drops so much more carbonadium and Soul of the sorry, not Soul of Faltine, Life Seed. And she also, of course, drops Phoenix Feathers, which is amazing for crafting cards. But even Kang, for example, Kang came out almost a year after Jean, and I've already grinded him up to 67 because he drops the most resources. So I think maybe that's what they were trying to say in that original text here, that they're trying to improve its world boss so that you can do it based on your needs rather than just going for the one that has the highest drops. I think that would be good. And then here we go. This is what I think they might be referring to. We were preparing a new world boss legend, and they said the new world boss legend will be cleared with a different approach from existing world bosses. And I have to assume, well, I don't have to assume, but I would assume that means it's not just going to be a boss that has a lot of health and a lot of defense, right? Very high health and very high defense. That has been the pattern for all of these bosses, right? They're like, hey, here's this new world boss legend. He's got 10 times more HP than Thanos, and he's got 20 times more defense than Thanos, which was the best world boss ultimate. You're going to need to get Pierce to a little bit of Pierce to get through this guy. Hey, we're going to do the same thing as Null, but he's going to revive twice. So he just has triple the HP and the same defense. Hey, we're going to do the same thing as Null and Mephisto, except he has less HP. Well, Ultron, I would say, is actually the most unique, I would say, because he has less HP, right? He has less HP. Not less HP than them, but relative to them, he has less HP. But he has those crazy optimization phases with unique attacks. So I actually think Ultron is one of the best designed bosses in the game, believe it or not. But a lot of people are going to hate me for saying that because they hate the optimization phase. But I actually think Ultron is a very creative boss, especially because you want to keep hitting him, but continuing to hit him is antithetical to the idea and the basic tenet of Marvel Future Fight, which is you want to stack all of your attacks into a proc. It's obviously not antithetical to players that use a Judgment or a Rage, but even with Judgment and Rage, you don't always want to keep hitting because sometimes you want to wait for your skills to come off cooldown so you can do them in a specific order. But Ultron's like, I don't care about any of that shit. You're going to keep attacking me or I'm going to make your life a living hell. So I find it very interesting. And also Ultron's the only boss where auto-attacking is actually valuable, especially in the optimization phase in between stone attacks. So I actually really like Ultron. I'm actually just like glazing Ultron hard. Gore sucks. He's just a harder version of not like, it's just bigger damage, bigger HP, bigger defense. Same thing with Jean. And then, of course, same thing with Kang. It's just more HP, more defense, which means you just need to do more damage, more damage, more damage. So hopefully what they're saying here with this new World Boss Legend is that they're not going to be going back to the drawing board of damage go up because HP and defense go up. But yeah, when I read, that they're introducing new villains, right? If we go back here and we say powerful new supervillains, they're powerful, which means they should be strong. They should be meta or very close to meta, and they're new. That to me screams new World Boss Legend. So we could be seeing a new World Boss Legend in this update. Now, I hope, I don't think they said this, but I hope that whatever the new game mode is that they announced, right? Because they teased in the letter that they sent to Star Agents, they teased, hey guys, we're coming out with a new game mode in the March update. I really hope that new game mode for tier 4s only is not a new world boss. That would be kind of cringe. I mean, now that I say it out loud, it does make sense, right? Like you have this whole progression system where you have to beat World Boss Legend to get tier 4 materials, and then that would naturally lend itself to, okay, once you can beat all these World Boss Legends to get tier 4s, now we're going to introduce a new World Boss Legend that drops some crazy reward, but you can only use tier 4s. It makes sense thematically. At the same time, it's kind of cringe. I kind of hope they don't do that. Yeah. Just because, I don't know, man, there's too much focus on world boss, and we only get 5 clears of world boss per day anyways. Like, if they were going to double the number of world boss clears, or they were going to make this like a separate thing to world boss, I don't know, man. It's actually kind of disappointing me right now that I say it out loud. I don't know. Maybe they executed it in the right way, but hopefully, and it also, you know what? Now that I think about it too, it actually wouldn't make that much sense, because none of the other world boss legends are tier 4 only, right? So it would be very confusing to players. They're like, oh, I can bring my tier 3s into Kang, but I can't bring them into whatever this new boss is, Shimumu. Shimumu is the character I just created off the top of my head. Whatever, world boss legend Annihilus, right? This new world boss legend is tier 4 only. Why? Because they said so. It would break the established logic in the game. So I kind of don't think that's what they're doing. So maybe it's not a world boss legend. If it's not a world boss legend, then it's just going to be a new villain. Again, I think a new villain, it's a very high chance it's going to be Annihilus. There's Onslaught. There's quite a few to choose from. There's Sebastian Shaw if they want to go back to mutants. There are quite a few good options, but it also probably means if they're new, if they're powerful new villains, that it's not going to be uniforms for existing villains, which kind of sucks because there's a lot of villains that could use new uniforms. A lot. Like, a lot. And especially new villains that could use tier 3. Like, man, when are we going to get... Look at that bottom row. Viper's cool. Anti-Man is godly. When is he going to get tier 3? Sentinel is godly. When is he going to get tier 3? I don't mean godly as in strong. I mean godly as in cool, right? Thane is super cool. Victorious is cool, despite only having 4 skills. I mean, even like Yellow Jacket is a cool villain. There's a lot of cool villains here, right? So, yeah. Crossbones, shout out Gravity Punch. I've yapped on for long enough, so let me know in the comments down below what you think this means. The arrival of superheroes with special looks and powerful new villains. Hit me up in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button. It helps with the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.